Welcome to Intuitive Mind Lab Radio, where science meets spirituality and unravels the mysteries of the mind and the universe. I'm your host, Lindsay Goodwin, a self-mastery mentor, born intuitive medium, and licensed health provider with a knack for blending neuroscience with a touch of the cosmic. This radio show skips the small talk and dives straight into the big, impactful energies. You're in the right place if you're a growth-minded, science-loving, wellness enthusiast, or a spiritual seeker ready to kick limiting beliefs to the curb. I've got you covered, from self-mastery tips to deep dives into manifestation and the esoteric. Buckle up, because we're about to upgrade your mind and master your life. Welcome to Intuitive Mind Lab Radio. Welcome back to Intuitive Mind Lab Radio. I am so excited for today's episode. I absolutely love talking about dream states and really the mystery of our subconscious mind, our soul, and how it all interacts to be able to deliver messages to us about our journey, really about if we are stuck, if we're going the right way, really what's coming, and really how to guide us to the highest version of ourselves. And so dreams is one way that our soul communicates with us. And so it's very powerful to tune into your dreams. And so in this episode, we're going to explore the fascinating world of dream states and really uncover the mysteries of the hidden within our subconscious minds, as I stated. From vivid dream imagery to symbolic messages, dreams have intrigued humanity for centuries, sparking curiosity and inspiring deeper introspection. So today you are joining me as we discuss the science and meaning of the significance of dreaming and how understanding these nightly, or I have a very vivid dreams when I take naps, or even early in the morning as well in that twilight state, and how these experiences can really unlock these new realms of personal insight and growth. So we are going to talk about the roles of dreams as a gateway to your soul's wisdom. We are going to interpret some dreams to align with your human experience, because remember, you are having a human experience. It's not truly who you are. You essentially are playing a game in a virtual reality. And so these dreams can really help you to be able to level up, essentially, and to get you on the right path if you are getting too involved in the human part of you rather than following the soul, which is truly you, the I am. And I will do more episodes on the I am, because that is very interesting to talk about. That essentially is that you are the universe. And so we are going to talk about what some of these dreams mean, as well as I am going to talk about some nightmares, some personal nightmares that I've had myself that have been quite significant in my experience. I will talk about. Very transparent here. I love sharing my stories, because if it helps you, then I am helping the world and helping those that I am here to help. We are also going to talk about common dreams and their interpretations and the current energy shifts that are going on in the energy collective at the moment. And I am going to briefly talk about really what's going on in my interpretation of the transition that's happening on this earth right now and how that connects to the universal grid and really what you can do about it. So we are going to, I'm so excited that you're here and that you've joined this community. I've been guided by the universe and my spiritual team and my higher self to create this podcast to be able to help those that I am meant to help to reach higher states within themselves, to really be able to live through the highest version of you and really to have answers to some of the weird things that are going on in our world at the moment. And to be completely transparent with you, it's only going to continue to keep getting weirder. And really the reason why is because things are being exposed. And as you're waking up, you're no longer in the slumber of believing the illusion. And so things really can get very strange and it can be very confusing. And so really having an outlet of someone that can give you some answers and insights really as to what's going on, and someone also that has been experiencing this for a long time, way before we even are having this big shift that's been happening the last few years. I have been awakening for quite a long time. And so I definitely have a lot of insights on how to help you, as well as I'm constantly channeling and getting downloads and really being able to deliver messages to help the collective. So I am here for you, as well as here for myself and the greater collective, to be able to help us all as we transition through this. So please stay tuned to discover how dreams are going to be able to help you with some of these messages that are coming through, as well as nightmares. Nightmares are very significant. We're going to break some of those down because they really have quite a bit of messaging there. And it's a lot of times not what you think. They're not literal. It's more of the subconscious mind and more symbolic metaphors to really help you to be able to discover what path you need to take, or maybe something you need to let go of, or someone that needs to be removed from your life, some sort of energy. People are energy, and they're, I always say that it's not the person, it's the pattern. So patterns will continue showing up until you eventually finally get it, and then you're done with it. So we can feel that we are on this never ending cycle of things repeating. And it's because you haven't fully decided that you're done with a pattern. So you really have to tell the universe that you're completely done with that. And then it's really sending out the vibrational frequency that I am done with that. So it's not just about saying it, it's also about the feeling that you have. And so when we're paying attention to things, that's letting the universe know that we're not done with something. So if something bothers you or triggers you, you're not done with it because it's still triggering you. So these are things that we look at as far as having the awareness about how we can end these cycles and these patterns. So I'll do more podcasts on that, more episodes, because I think it's really important to know that, so that you can really be in power of your own journey, and that you're not letting external circumstances control how you're navigating your experience. And this really is a lot of what dreams are, is to empower you to be able to take on knowing that you are the one that's in the driver's seat, and that exterior circumstances are not driving the ship for you, but you're the captain. So dreams as a gateway to your soul's wisdom. So dreams are not just random. They're here to really show you how your soul is communicating with you. And what we have to remember is that there's a lot of symbolism in dreams that can provide clarity in your life and situations. So I'm going to talk more about different specific dreams and their meanings to really help you to understand what those common dreams could actually mean. Our spirit guides do come visit us in our dreams, as well as our angels. It is interesting. As the further I become awakened, I'm realizing that your spirit guides are actually just different versions of you, which is quite interesting. I think that when I first started learning about my spirit guides, that I thought of them as being separate from me, that they were somehow these different entities, and they're not. They're actually just different versions of you. And so that's a whole big conversation. It is really interesting when you start to come to the realization that everything in the universe is you, that you are the universe, you are that I am. And so, these different versions of you, we can call them your spirit guides, will come in and they will actually show you different symbols. So it could be different colors. I have a psychic library, so my spirit guides will communicate with me through different symbols or objects, and I just know what they mean. So it's really powerful to be able to learn about what some of these symbols, colors, numerology, some of what this means. And I will do more episodes on symbolism because I am so into that. And it really is. And also numbers really is how the universe communicates with you. And of course, consciousness, you are infinite consciousness. So it is your consciousness communicating with you. So, we are going to talk about why your dreams are the whisper from your soul and how they really guide your life experience. We get so wrapped up in just the day to day, and we forget what we truly are, and that is part of why we come into this experience, is to really play this game of coming back to remembering that you are the I am, that you are everything. You are not separate from the infinite energy, which is essentially God or source energy, or, you are that. And we're taught that it's external and it's outside of us. And I gotta say, it's absolute BS. It is such an illusion to believe that, and to have these operations and systems and whatever you want to call them, trying to tell us that that's how it works, and it's not how it works. Uh, no one is ever going to show you how powerful you are but yourself. No one is here to give you advice, but you get the advice from yourself. And that's what I'm about, is educating everybody, anyone that hears this, that your power is within you. It is not outside of you. There's no figure that is ever going to give you that. Maybe people can help guide you to it, but it should be temporary. Eventually, it's that you realize it and you embody it. You are just as powerful as anyone else, that there is no one that has more power than you. We give our power away if we believe things like that. And so it's very, very important that you learn this. It's truly the only way that you are going to have a life that is in flow with the universe, and to really be able to escape the matrix and the illusion that you are not powerful. And it is going into the unknown. And sometimes when, speaking of dreams, when you start to awaken, that you can have very strange dreams because you're removing layers, and your soul's helping guiding you through these layers of essentially darkness, because these lower vibrational frequencies of trying to condition you to believe that your power is outside of you is darkness. It's separation. And so it can get kind of dark, and you might be a person that's experiencing that at the moment. And I promise you that it gets better, but you have to trust yourself. And hopefully I can help you through this. And, information I'm offering to you, and that it gives you inspiration to keep going, because it does get better. I promise you, I've had several spiritual awakenings and so much confusion through my life. And this, I know, is why this has happened in my situation, has happened for me so that I can help you. Because I really understand what it's like to be in a place of darkness and in a place of complete confusion as you're making that transition over into remembering who you truly are. So you're not alone. Just remember that. So how are dreams guiding your human experience? Well, dreams often have insights that help you grow emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And that is part of the awakening that I was just mentioning. They can really be guide tools for relationships, career decisions, personal healing, just to name a few, because we receive messages in dream time. And it's our subconscious wrapped up with our higher self, and really being able to tell you what it is that you need to focus on. And again, dreams, that's why they're so weird, because it's like this clash with the higher self, with the subconscious mind. And you've got this, it's like this reality that's like clashing, these two different realities. And so we find it to be very weird. And that's why dreams can feel so off. You're like, why did I dream of a bear wearing red shoes dancing? And you're like, what is that? It felt like it was me. Like, why was I a bear? I'm just giving you an example. Why was I a bear in red shoes dancing? Well, I'll break that down for you. So bears, they're definitely a sign of strength, but they're also hibernation. What do? They hibernate. Red shoes, red always relates to the root chakra. So definitely foundational energy. Root chakra, if you know about the chakras, is that the base of the spine is an energy center that relates to fear. It relates to foundational energy. It relates to life force, ancestral energy, soul DNA, also physical DNA, human DNA. So shoes on the feet with being red, feet always relate to the ground. So the heel, which could actually be relating to hell. Hell is a state of mind. It's not an actual place that you go. It's a choice, just like heaven is as well. I believe that we never leave heaven. We just have to actually choose to believe that we're in heaven. So you're choosing love. You're choosing light. The darkness, not all darkness is bad. Obviously, we have to go into the dark to be able to transition it into the light. So when I say darkness, it's not always a bad thing. Nothing is actually ever bad. It's just basically what you need to be able to evolve in your journey and what you came here for. And so red could be relating with it being on your feet, that maybe it's time to stop hibernating and get into those higher chakras, those higher versions of yourself. And really live in that higher energy of you and less in the 3D reality, because dancing could relate to the sacral chakra, which would be the place of creation, and getting into those creative energy. Dancing is about creative energy. It's the feminine energy. So you can see how you can really break these dreams down. And I'm not necessarily saying that you're going to know how to break them down right away, exactly how I do. I've been researching this a long time, researching as well as getting a lot of energy downloads on a consistent basis on what things mean. And that's why when I said I have a psychic library, I just know what things mean. And so that, and also remembering that your dreams are also interpretations of what you feel that they mean. So you might read something, it might not resonate, or you might get a reading and someone might, be interpreting your dream and you might not resonate with it. So always follow your intuition on anything. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. And we are going to talk a little bit about following your intuition and really how to do that in this episode, because it's very important to remember the difference between your intuition and anxiety and really that ego sort of self versus the soul self. So we are going to share some personal questions from listeners at the end, and we're going to have answers to those. We love it when you guys send in questions. Really helps us to be able to make sure that we're providing the information that you're looking for. And it's always so exciting to get your questions. I love answering them. And also, I learned so much from you too. I want you to know that your interpretation, perspectives on things are unique, and I absolutely love hearing your perspectives, interpretations. It's just wonderful. So what happens if you don't dream? That's a common question that I get, and we'll talk more about that. And dreaming is an important part of your experience. So if you're not dreaming, there are ways that you can actually remember your dreams. Everyone dreams, so it's not that you're not dreaming. It's just that you're not remembering them. So we need to train your mind to remember them. And really powerful way to do that is start a dream journal. Also meditation. When you meditate, your mind becomes much more focused. And you do get more comfortable of those transcendental moments when you're really not thinking about anything. And so these can really train your brain to remember. And so keeping a dream journal next to your bed, and when you do remember a dream, writing it down. The action of writing can be really helpful in training your brain. So actually using an action, like using your hand to write something down, is very powerful in training your brain. Also, if you don't remember your dreams right away, still keep that dream journal with the pen next to your bed, as well as I like to record my dreams. So if you're the person that likes to do that, I like to speak. I'm a speaker. And so I will actually keep my phone next to my bed and record my dreams. So you can do that as well. But if you don't necessarily remember your dreams and you don't have anything to write down or record, well, you could record or write down this is, what did I feel like? What did I feel like when I woke up? Start with that. Was there any sensations in my body? Did I feel happy when I woke up? Did I feel sad? Did I feel anxious? Do I have like a weird taste in my mouth? Of course, when you wake up in the morning, you probably have a weird taste in your mouth, but just very specific, get very specific about things, really tune in and pay attention to your body. That is a sure way to be able to start having that awareness to learn more about your dreams and start training your brain. So that's where I would start. And then what if you don't dream? Well, I just talked about that. We're gonna I'll talk in depth more about it. So exploring why people don't dream or struggle to remember their dreams, probably because you're not quite comfortable with knowing that part of yourself. That could be part of it. It could be also that you're extremely stressed out and you don't really know how to tap into that part of yourself. It could also be that you've never done it before. I think it's probably more an emotional attachment there that is about fear, or you are extremely stressed out. That's been my personal experience, rather than you just don't know how to do it. Everything, well, I can't say everything, but most everything is on a subconscious level, and it's things that we're not even aware that we're doing. So that's why the subconscious mind is so incredibly powerful, to make sure that we are learning about that part of ourselves. And really how we do that is through subconscious mind therapy, like what I do with my clients, as well as meditation, really learning about your mind and body language, paying attention. Why do I do certain things? There's a lot of ways to start really exploring deeper parts of yourself and really becoming aware of things that you're not really aware of until you start really actually paying attention about yourself. So there are techniques I just talked about with journaling, as well as just trying to remember how you feel when you wake up, that can really help you to be able to recall your dreams, as well as something that's very powerful is setting intentions before you sleep that you are going to remember your dreams. So it might not happen right away that when you say that to yourself before you go to sleep, that you are going to remember your dreams, but be patient, give yourself grace. You will eventually start remembering them. The mind is so incredibly powerful, and especially when we start to go to sleep, because that's when the subconscious mind starts to really come out in that twilight sort of energy. When you're first going to sleep, and then when you're first waking up, that would be considered twilight. And so when you're programming your subconscious mind at that time. So telling your mind with the intention that I'm going to remember my dreams, you actually will start remembering your dreams. The same thing with astro traveling. And so really going to other planes, dimensions, that while you're sleeping, or even in meditation, you can astro travel. You don't necessarily have to sleep. You set the intention that that's what you're going to do. And so astro traveling, I will talk more about that. It's not necessarily something that I would recommend that you do until you get more comfortable with going inward, because there are different things. I've seen a lot of things on the astral plane that could be kind of scary. And it's not, astral traveling, we have to remember that everything that we're going to see is relating to our vibration. So I just want to make it clear that if your vibration is a place of fear because you're starting to do some of these new techniques, you're probably going to see stuff that's not what you want to see. So I don't want to put you in a position where you're starting to do things that could actually make you more scared, so that then you don't want to do it anymore. So I want to work you up to this, because you really are in control of everything, and including what you're going to see on the astral plane. So I just want to make sure that you are not getting too ahead of yourself too quickly, and make sure that you're comfortable with some of these techniques before you go in too deep. So just reassuring you that your dreams are intuitive guidance for you. And on the other hand, what about when your dreams seem more like nightmares? What do they actually mean? So let's get into that. So let's take a little bit of time to understand some of these nightmares. So nightmares often reflect unresolved fears or emotions, but they're not always negative. In fact, I don't think anything is negative. I think everything is just guiding us to the highest version of ourselves. and really to break out of limiting beliefs, patterns, break away from energy that really is draining us, whether that be people, places, things, situations, getting us to break away from patterns that are not for the best version of us, for our best interest. And it's, we ask, a lot of times we ask for things and we think it's going to look a certain way, and the universe is going to give us what we need. So remembering that as well. So if you ask for something, for example, you ask to move, and you start having all these things start to be removed, and things are moving really fast, and you're like, why is this happening like this? Well, because you asked to move, and the universe is going to make sure that you get what you asked for. So we have to remember not to complain or feel like we're being victimized. Victimization is something that if you want to ascend, you have to get away from. You're never being victimized. You're always attracting to you what your soul needs. Okay? Always attracting to you what your soul needs. And I will talk about this a little bit. I will talk more about narcissism. I do specialize in that. I have attracted a ton of narcissists. And for a long time, I really felt that I was being victimized. But what I realized is that maybe I didn't have great boundaries with these people, and narcissists, we have to be really careful with narcissists because they can really see things with you, your vulnerabilities, and they see you being nice and your light. Definitely, if you're someone listening to this podcast, you are definitely a starseed, a light worker, a spiritual healer, someone that is very advanced in their soul DNA and are here doing work that is for the greater collective. And everyone is special. Even the narcissist is special because everyone has a position here in the collective, and really being able to really have a purpose here. But the narcissist really is here to awaken the light workers and the star seeds. And of course, we've got crystal kids, rainbow kids. I can talk more about that in other podcasts. But these are specific souls, and many of them, including myself, I'm a star seed, have not actually lived many lifetimes in human form. I do have many, many past life memories of living as a human, though. So I know I've lived human lives, but definitely have a very strong connection with some of the galactic beings, specifically the Arcturians, if you are someone that is into star seeds, as well as some of the galactic beings. The Arcturians are some of my favorites. So, but as far as the narcissist, I have encountered many of them in the last few years, and it's been hard. It's been really hard. And I think what's really going on is they're being exposed. Like, the entire world is narcissistic. If you really look at what's going on in our world, it's very narcissistic. It's very controlling, manipulative, telling you, no, you're going to be the way I want you to be. You're going to follow what I want you to follow. And people are waking up. Souls are waking up and really deciding that I don't want to live like that. I'm going to look for the answers within. And it really is spiritual warfare that's going on right now. And there's much more narcissistic people are really being exposed. And so you have to be very, very careful who you are interacting with. I mean, I've never seen more narcissistic people in my life than I have the last few years. And maybe they could just hide it better before. I'm not sure. But it is being exposed. I think just overall the energy of narcissism is being exposed. And the souls that are here to ascend, like myself, and I'm sure you as well, that we are breaking away from these narcissistic experiences, these narcissistic energies. And because of that, they don't have people to feed on. So you're going to see it more and more and more and more. And I don't want to talk all about narcissism in this podcast, this episode, because this isn't what this episode is about. But I did want to bring it up, and I will talk more about it because I know that there's so many people that are confused, like I was, about why is this happening? Well, it's happening because if you truly want to know who you are, be around narcissistic energy and you will ascend. You will ascend to higher versions of yourself, because that is really what they're here for. And so remembering that if you are someone that has experienced narcissism, or you're in a narcissistic relationship now, remembering that, use it, alchemize it, use it to your advantage. Don't fight with them. Don't stay around them. They're never going to change. The chances of someone changing that's narcissistic is very, very slim. They can, but they have to want to do it. And most of the time with narcissistic people, they don't ever think that they're the problem. They think it's everyone else. They're the victim. And also statistically, when people are over the age of 50, they generally don't change. That's a statistic. So be very careful who you're around. I don't care if somebody has a title that they take care of old people, they take care of elderly people, and they're so nice, and they donate to charity, and they're this upstanding citizen, and they have this title, this upstanding citizen. That's probably a narcissistic person. And one way you can tell of a narcissistic person is they're always the victim. It's everyone else's fault. All my exes are crazy. That sort of energy. Please stay away from that. Please stay away from that. And I will tell you, speaking of dreams, I was around this narcissistic person that I actually just described them. That's actually what they actually do. They actually work with elderly people, and they're probably one of the most evilest people I've ever met in my life. And how they're able to do that, it's so sad. It's very, very scary. And when I was around this person, I would have many nightmares of these clowns and these sharp teeth. And teeth relate to your power. And the fact that it was a clown, clowns are very scary. And that's exactly what sort of energy this person has. Extremely scary and just ugly energy. And this person, I would see these black shadows coming from the top of their head. I've only seen that in two people. This person and one other person that actually did clinically have mental illness, like was clinically diagnosed with mental illness, pretty extreme mental illness. So please be careful. Trust your intuition. When you're getting information, you're seeing things like I was seeing these black shadows coming off this person's head. Please listen to that. Do not go against that. Always listen to yourself, even if you think that you're being too hard on them, or you think that you're overthinking things or you're overreacting. Please do not say that to yourself. You are not. Your soul is trying to show you that you are around something that is not for you. Please protect yourself. And I will do more episodes on narcissism because I know, like I said, that there's so much narcissistic energy, not just people, but systems, energies that are being exposed. And I want you to be educated on it so that you can stay away from it, so that you can alchemize things, use things to your advantage to ascend, but also protect yourself. You deserve that. And I'm here to help you with that. So moving on, we are going to talk about some common dreams and their interpretations. So just some common things you might experience: flying, falling, being chased. And I mentioned the teeth. It could be teeth falling out, even just teeth in general. Also hair. People experience their hair falling out. These are all about power. Am I giving my power away? So teeth and hair, always make sure you're paying attention to that, because those are pretty straightforward and letting you know that either something is taking your power away or you're giving it away. We always have to give it away. Something can't take your power away without you actually allowing it to happen. Okay. And your teeth, again, I mentioned that relates to power. So, and then also being chased, what are you running from? Usually it's you're running from something within yourself. What are you afraid of? And falling can be that maybe you're afraid to completely let yourself release and completely surrender. So allowing yourself to surrender. Flying could be freedom, feeling free. I always love the flying dreams. In fact, when I do visualizations with my clients, I generally will bring in the energies of flying because it feels so freeing to fly. I also dream a lot about birds. I have quite a connection with birds and the physical experience. Birds to me relate to symbolically to angels. I don't care what bird it is. Specifically, I really have a connection with crows. Crows are about rebirth. Very mystical. I had some crows last summer that actually I was feeding and were letting me get very close to me. They were coming on my balcony. And there was a baby crow and it would come every single day and it would talk. And it was just so amazing. And they're just incredible creatures. And I love them so much. But birds absolutely do relate to the spirit realm for sure. So your dreams, understanding that they do have a deeper meaning and helping you with your self-awareness. And so let's look at the bigger picture of this. What's happening in the energy collective right now? And how can you channel this energy into spiritual growth? Well, I kind of already talked about this, but what's going on right now is that there's been a system that's been in place. I'll try to condense this down. There's been a system that's been in place for many, many years, and people are awakening. And really what's going on in the universal energy is that you can't stop what's happening. Like no system or human is going to stop the evolution of the human race. And also just how the universe is moving with everybody. It's ascending. You've probably heard people talk about 3D, 4D, 5D, new Earth, splitting of Earth. And so there really is a splitting that's going on. And I feel it. I've been feeling it for several years, but specifically in the last 2 months have been really intense. Definitely a lot of confusion. It can be hard to keep your grounding. So it's really important to make sure you're careful of what you're consuming, whether it be who you're listening to, watching the TV, what kind of food you're eating, people that you're around. Oh my gosh, I can't stress that enough. Listen to your intuition. Also, who is helping you, who you're allowing into your energy space, music, like major music. It is attuned to lower frequencies, which will bring your vibration down. There's so many hidden ways that actually this operation of control, I'm going to call it, is trying to pull your vibration down so that you're not ascending and you're staying in the lower frequencies. So this is why you have to listen to your discernment, your internal GPS, your intuition, because nothing else is going to give you the information that you need but yourself. You pretty much can't trust anything. You can trust me. I absolutely have great intentions, but of course, anything that I say too, I'm always stating this, please take what resonates. Please take what resonates. Always make sure that you're listening to yourself, no matter who you're listening to. And if something doesn't feel right, please don't listen to it. Please don't consume it. Please don't be around that person or that energy or that system or situation or whatever it is. Please, please, please listen to yourself. You always know. You always know what's best for you. So that's kind of what's going on. I'm sure that you are feeling it if you're listening to this podcast, because you wouldn't be attracted to, I wouldn't have manifested you into my frequency and to my world if you weren't in alignment with to hear this. So definitely listen to yourself. And there really is two worlds going on. And so it's really about you deciding which one you want to be a part of. And you want to be a part of the higher frequencies. So moving away from the lower frequencies, the victimization, it's everyone else's fault, that believing in politics. Politics is fake. I'm just going to say that. It's absolutely fake. And when I look at politics, I see clowns. Like, I literally see clowns, just like that person I was talking about that I had encountered, my guides would show me a clown with sharp, ugly teeth. That is exactly what I see when I look at many of what's going on in the world right now is clowns. It looks like a joke to me. So just take that for whatever resonates for you. But just whatever feels right for you. But make sure that you're choosing the love vibration, you're choosing the higher frequencies, because that is really how you're going to be in the new earth, it's called. And so it's not like there's really a different earth. They're dimensions, they're consciousness, they're levels of awareness. That's what it is. It's like if you were in a hotel and you were on the third floor, you would be experiencing something different than the first floor because you're on a different floor. That's essentially how you can think of these different earths. They're dimensions. They're not necessarily like a new planet Earth. I don't even know if I necessarily believe in the planets. I think they're dimensions, but that's a whole nother conversation. So I've got some questions here from the listeners, and we'll just jump into this. So the first question is, how can I start tapping into my intuition if I've never done it before? Well, this is such a great question. And the first step is you want to create a sense of calm and stillness within yourself. So this is why meditation is so incredibly powerful. Even if it's just like you're doing where you're staring into the fire, like there's so many different ways that you can connect and really clear those thoughts. Maybe you're just outside and you're daydreaming, you're not really thinking about anything. I find it interesting that we're taught as kids not to daydream because that takes you away from your imagination, which is your connection to God. So it's very interesting how this world is set up. I have so many great episodes for you to talk about, so much that you are really going to enjoy. So, but I will not try to digress too much because that can absolutely is something that I do, and we'll try to stay on point here. So meditation, journaling, or quiet moments in nature. Spending time around animals too is really powerful. I meditate with my dog a lot. His energy is just incredibly beautiful. And I think all animals really are there. To me, I believe that they're angels sent for us to be around, and animals actually absorb our energy, which is interesting. So pay close attention to your gut feelings and your inner nudges, also those whispers from your intuition. Your intuition's not going to yell at you. I mean, sometimes if you're in danger, but generally it is a whisper. So your anxiety, your stress, your ego is going to be anxiety. It's going to feel very stagnant, stuck, and overthinking things versus it's a quick impulse. So you can also set the intention that you can say a mantra, something like this: I'm open to hearing my inner wisdom. And with practice, you will start recognizing your intuition that does communicate with you. So we've got a second question. What's the difference between intuition and overthinking? Great question, which leads from the first question, segue right in. Fantastic question. Your intuition is typically a calm, clear, and grounded feeling that arises without much mental effort. It's a quick impulse, you guys. Quick impulse. If you're overthinking something, that is not your intuition. It is a quick impulse. It feels like a knowing without needing a logical explanation. Throw the logical stuff out the window. I mean, for the most part, logical explanation of things is actually completely not even worth your time, worth your energy, because the universe is non-linear. It's not linear. We're taught linear. It's not even the way that it works. logical explanations that, yes, do they happen? Absolutely. Are we meant to have logical sort of thinking for certain areas? Yes, absolutely. Not saying completely throw it out the window, but for the most part, things are not logical, and things are not linear. And you can't prove most things. Energy is, 99% of what you're experiencing is starting from energy in the first place. So how can you explain it? You can't always explain things. I have to remind myself remind myself of that too when I'm reading energy and also working with clients, because we always want to try to have an explanation for things. You can't always have an explanation for things. Things just show up and they're just there, and it's being okay with that. And really using your discernment, using your intuition to be able to know if there needs to be an explanation or if it's just there. So this does take practice. So overthinking, however, can often feel chaotic and make you feel anxious, as if your mind is grasping at every possibility to create scenarios. I'm sure you've all felt that. You know exactly what that means. To differentiate, take a moment to breathe and center yourself. Intuition tends to come through when your mind is quiet. Yes, absolutely. So the third question is, can I access my intuition even during stressful times? Absolutely. Probably the best time to access your intuition. Although I have to state that it can be harder to tap in your intuition during stressful moments, but it's not impossible. So I have a guide. I knew him in this lifetime. His name is Bill, and he is super incredible. He's one of my favorites. He says to me, just focus. He calls me Linz. Just focus, Linz. And it took me a while to really understand what exactly he was talking about. And what he's talking about is keeping my frequency high. So this leads into what we're talking about here, that when we're stressed out and we're overthinking things, it brings down our vibration, which makes it so that we can't hear. And I'm talking about hearing with your mind's eye. You might be somebody that's clairaudient. I am clairaudient. It's not as common to be clairaudient. The clair that's most common is clairsentient, probably clairvoyant next, which I'll do an episode on what the clairs are if you don't know what they are. Clairaudient is where you hear. Clairvoyant is clear seeing, and clairsentient is clear feeling. So most people are very connected to clairsentient. But you might be clairaudient. But when I say here, I'm talking about more of your intuition, your mind's eye, of really knowing something, okay? That's where you want to hear. The key is to pause and create a small pocket of mindfulness. Even a few deep breaths can ground you enough to hear the subtle guidance of your intuition. Stressful times can actually highlight the importance of listening to that inner wisdom, that inner hearing, that inner knowing, to help you guide you through challenges and obstacles. Okay? You want to trust yourself and give new life the ability, the space to emerge, that you have to let things go to be able to let new in. Okay? So letting things go that are no longer serving you. If you know that you need to let that relationship go, if you know you need to let go of worrying about what other people think, if you know that you need to let imposter syndrome go, if you know that you need to let that job go because you know that you're meant to start business, if you know that you're living in the wrong area of the world and you need to move somewhere else, if you know that you need to start eating better because what you're eating is making you feel tired and not sleeping well and insomnia and creating health issues, you have to trust yourself. You have to know that you have the answers, and you have to know that you have the answers to know that you know what you need to let go of to bring in new. Okay? So some of these things that we know we need to let go of are bringing our frequency down. They're making it so that we're not actually dialed in and connected to our higher self, that I am, as much as we really want to be and are meant to be. Okay. So remembering that you're always exactly where you need to be at that particular moment for your evolving. So never feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be, but always remembering that you have to go into unknown territory to really be able to evolve. And that can be very uncomfortable. It's like going into the dark without the lights on. If you're afraid you're going to run into something, well, you probably are. You'll be fine. You'll stub your toe, whatever. You'll be fine. You'll make it out of it. It's okay. You have to be able to be uncomfortable, being uncomfortable, to be able to ascend. It's just how it works. And that's why so many people don't do it. Because they don't want to feel uncomfortable. They would rather be uncomfortable for a lifetime of living a lie than actually doing the work to be able to ascend and then be comfortable being themselves. It's just like when you end a relationship. Yeah, it's uncomfortable in the beginning and you dread it because even if the person's abusive, they're still nice, right? But you know it's not good for you. Of course it's not good to be in an abusive relationship, and most relationships are abusive because most people are not in a high frequency. Most people have not done the work. I'm going to state this. This is true. Most people around you have not done the work. And they're all over the place. They're healers and they have titles and they're, they haven't done the work. I'm telling you, I see through it all the time. I want you to be in a position where you can see it. And you can stay away from these energies. You're not even attracting them anymore. Because you've actually done the work. Gone in to yourself. Made yourself actually uncomfortable to do it. You have to get uncomfortable to ascend. And I'd say I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because it's actually what you have to do. And I'll talk more about this because it's really important for you to know that, to know how to do it as well. And maybe you're someone that's already done it and this speaks volumes to you. Or maybe you're someone that is trying to figure out how to do it. I'm here to help you. So just a recap of our episode today. So dreams are a pathway to your soul's wisdom. Common dreams and nightmares have deeper meanings that can guide your life. And even if you don't dream, there are ways to connect with intuitive guidance. Give yourself grace. Give yourself space. And knowing that you have all the answers. And knowing that it's okay for you to grow and that it's not going to happen overnight. You didn't get this way overnight. You didn't get, you were born into this world absolutely perfect. You're always perfect. No matter if you are working on some of these patterns and you're working on really getting to ascend and know yourself. Okay? But when you were born into this world, you didn't have all this conditioning on top of you. So give yourself grace and acceptance and love as you're moving through this. So these collective energy shifts, they really do influence the way that we dream and process the world. So you also are getting information based on the energy collective. Remember that you are part of the collective. So you might be getting dreams that are not even relating to necessarily your own energy. Okay? If you are someone that is intuitive, I do not like the word psychic. If you want to use that word, that's fine. But you are someone that is intuitive or intuitive medium like myself, you could absolutely be getting information about the collective because that is what you're here for. You're helping the collective. So it can be, you just have to learn. You have to give yourself patience as you're learning where this stuff is coming from. So try not to get overwhelmed. And I don't want to digress too much in that because that could absolutely be a whole entire podcast. And again, I have so much to share with you. I can't wait to continue to keep doing episodes. It's just absolutely what I love is helping you. So we are at the end of the episode. I want to thank you so much for tuning in with me today on Intuitive Mind Lab Radio. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that follow button so you don't ever miss an episode. I want you to share this with friends, family, or anyone who can benefit from unlocking the power of their inner wisdom, your inner wisdom, and really being able to find that power within. Okay? Always the power within. Your support means the world to us and helps us grow this incredible community. Remember, we are community. Us light workers, us awakened ones, we need to stick together. We are community. So this is a community for you to be able to feel empowered, know that you have a place to come to, and really help you to have the guidance through your journey. We are here for that. I am here for you. It always helps to be able to support people like you on your ascension journey. Remember, you are on an ascension journey. And until next time, I'm your host here on Intuitive Mind Lab Radio, Lindsay Goodwin, and much love always. And that's a wrap for this episode on Intuitive Mind Lab Radio. If this episode sparked your curiosity or lit a fire in your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your Cosmo-loving bestie, and hey, if you're feeling the vibes, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. Until next time, remember this, it's your universe and you hold the power to master it. I'll see you next time in a mind-expanding Intuitive Mind Lab Radio episode. Stay curious, bold, and always true to your authentic self. Much love always.